Hello and welcome to the Maxxess video seminar series. In this video, we'll be describing how to install a new elevator on your eAXxess eFusion software. Configuring elevators with eAXxess and eFusion version 6.02 and eMAX hardware. This training clip will cover an overview of the elevator installation, how to configure the elevator, how to create elevator levels, how to assign elevator access to cardholders, and some helpful links at the end to maximize your elevator installation. As an overview, the eFusion eAXxess version 6.02 Security Management Systems provides a comprehensive elevator control and management solution. Before adding and configuring elevators, assure that the elevator module has been purchased. The elevator configuration differs based on the type of hardware used. This training addresses the configuration of elevators with the Mercury-based hardware. To begin with, we will bring up the Maxxess desktop version 6.02, and to configure the elevator, we start by clicking Configuration, Devices, and Elevators. Start by selecting New, selecting the module that this elevator will be residing on, and a significant descriptive name for the elevator reader. Select the panel and also the door that this elevator reader will be residing on. In this case, we'll be using door 2 on an EP1501 panel system. The address will be shown in the address box as a raw address for this elevator, and the show picture box may be used if you want to show picture upon reading at this elevator reader. Your selections and your options are never, always, and denied access. This is the same configuration as used in the door configuration. There are a couple of parameters that need to be configured in the elevator. To start with, we'll click Configure and scroll down. We need to adjust 3 configurations to get the basic elevator installed. The first configuration will be the first floor panel. We need to select the starting panel for elevator floors. These describe the outputs of the floors in the system. We will be using an MR16 out board. Select the drop down, select the board, and then following that configuration we will follow the first floor point. Select the starting point for elevator floors. These are the outputs to be used with the elevators, and in this case again we'll be using floor number 1 or relay number 1 as the first floor. The next configuration that we must define is the floor count. In this case, we'll be using 16 floors for the elevator. So we will select for the floor count 16. Once set, that is all that's necessary for the basic elevator configuration to assign floors. We will be coming back to this screen to assign any optional override levels. Once satisfied, click the OK button, which will bring you back to the configuration elevator screen. Click the Save button to save your parameters, and upon doing so, what will happen is your elevator reader will be assigned as one of your elevators, shown in the left panel box. Also, when you click Save, all the floors will be configured automatically in your system, which means all the outputs will be configured from, in this case, relay 1 through 16. To view those, you will click on the Floors tab residing next to the Elevator tab. Once on the Floors tab and selecting the elevator, you will now notice that the elevator floors are shown in the left panel, floors 1 through 16. This screen is used to change the name to something more descriptive for your individual site. It will, though, generically name all your floors based on your elevator reader. Once satisfied with all the floor names, you can click Close and exit the elevator configuration. This brings us back to the Maxxess desktop. We now need to assign access levels and cardholders access to this elevator. The first step in doing that is to click on Personnel, Access Levels, and click on the elevator levels. We must configure an elevator level to be assigned to this elevator. The elevator level screen is used to define the floor schedules for the elevators. For example, we'll be assigning 24-hour access to these elevators in our example, and then assigning an access level for 24-hour access. To begin, we click the New button and type in a descriptive name for this elevator level. In this case, we'll be selecting 24-hour access. To configure 24-hour access, we'll select the individual floors. In this case, we want to select all 16 floors for 24-hour access. So to do that, select the top elevator floor 1 and hold down the Shift key. Select the 16th floor one, which will select all the floors in between. We want to schedule this for 24-hour access. So to do that, you're going to right-click and select the Schedule button. We will then select 24-hour access to give us 24-hour access to these 16 floors. Once satisfied with that selection, click OK and click the Save button. We must now add an access level to this elevator level tab. To do that, you click on the Access Levels tab, which will show you all your access levels defined in your system. Again, we want to assign 24-hour access, so we will click on an access level that we assign for 24 hours, and we will assign your elevator reader for 24-hour access. To do that, right-click on your elevator reader, select it, and in this screen, we'll use the schedule, which we use for elevator levels, to select 24-hour access, which will give us, on all 16 floors, 24-hour access. Clicking OK and Save will give you, on this access level, 24-hour access to all 16 floors in your system. Now, one of the options that we may describe to you is a very common use in the industry is to give free egress during normal business hours. And we use something called floor override in our system. We will set up an elevator level called floor override and have free egress to all 16 floors from 8 to 5 in the daytime. So 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. all floors will have free egress or will be allowed access during normal business hours 8 to 5. To do this, we will select elevator levels again, select New, and something descriptive for the name, such as override level. Once selected, we want to then schedule an override, and in this case, as we described earlier, we want to select an 8 to 5 on all 16 floors to be able to give free egress during normal business hours. Again, select elevator floor 1, holding down the Shift key, select elevator floor 16, which will highlight all the floors in between. Right-click, click Schedule, and in this case, we want to schedule an 8 to 5 normal working day, which we've already configured earlier today. Select the 8 to 5 day shift, Monday through Friday. Once satisfied with this selection, click OK. And now you will notice the icon, it has a schedule icon in front of all those. And again, that schedule is 8 to 5. The name of its override, and once satisfied, click Save. This will now add another elevator level called override, which we now can assign to the elevator that we want to have that override set up for. Close your personnel screen, bringing us back to the Maxxess desktop. Click on Configuration, Devices, and Elevator once more. Select your elevator on the left-hand side. Click the Configure button. Scroll down in your configurations to a setting called Override Level. Select the override level, and again, this is the selection that the elevator is used to schedule floor overrides. Once selected, click the drop-down and select the configuration elevator level override level that you just configured in the previous screen. Once the override level is set, click the OK button and then click Save. This will save your elevator override level to your system. And once you close the screen and initialize your processors, this will allow free egress on floors 1 through 16 during normal business hours, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. After 5 p.m. and before 8 a.m., it will be required to use a card for access to the elevator floors. This will end the elevator installation for this version 602. If you have any questions, please contact Maxxess Technical Support at 1-800-926-2609 or email at support@maxxess-systems.com. Thank you for your time.